Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, welcome to the top 10 2020 best-selling manga of the year. Joining me today, we have the lovely Gear Third Manga Reviews. We have Shrug Pod.
He said lovely.
And Based Senpai. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is a treat for myself because I have not been on the last few Manga Alert episodes. I've had a lot of things going on. I've been handling some business and taking care of...
You were trapped in Base's basement.
No,
for like
that
3 months.
never happened. That never happened. He was.
I don't know.
He was in Florida. He had no time for me.
What do you? He swam up here during a pandemic to
Swam.
punch me.
There's where I'm from.
I'm
there is no bodies of water.
Dry land fish. Just taking a
So if
nice
he could
dive.
swim to get me, then he could surely have driven like 10 hours to come hit you with his car.
Easily, the Jeep has unlimited miles to it. I could take that thing and ride for 200,000 easily. I mean, Shaman, he's just being coy.
Story of Undertale. I fell from the light. Talk or should I fight? Monster genocide. This my Undertale.
Listen, boys. Today, all jokes aside, we're here to talk about some serious business, and that business is the top 10 best-selling manga of 2020. And as a manga influencer myself, being one of the greatest manga tubers of all time, we have to bring it to everybody's attention what those series are. And so I would say let's just jump right into it. Let's get this party started. Let's just talk about the number 10 best-selling series on this list, and that is
we don't want some honorable mentions like Dr. Stone, right, Base?
No. Fuck Dr. Stone, dude.
Who's still reading that series?
Dr. Stoner.
Dr. Stone! Woo!
Fucking kidney stones over here. No, I ain't
People
playing with
still
that shit.
think that Dr. Stone was a successful anime adaptation. Some of the casuals, some of the blue names, some of the just absolute freaks that walk this earth and have like their opinion doesn't even matter. They think it's good. I don't. I think they're insane.
Well, season 2 is starting in a few weeks. You gonna check that out?
No.
Oh.
I honestly haven't gotten too far into Dr. Stone, so I can't say much. It was cool.
It was also probably like number 25, so we should move on.
Attack on Titan.
Woo!
Number 10. Selling a whopping 4.3 million copies this year. Making its
good job.
Spot on the top 10 list. What do we all have to say about this wonderful series that is getting its final season adaptation?
I don't think it's been here in a while, but finally cracked the top 10 again.
Hasn't been here in a while. Well, let's see, actually. Was it here in 2019?
Actually, I might be misremembering. Maybe it was.
Was it a little...
It was
it a
here
little
in
higher?
2019.
I think we need to...
It was?
It was number 6.
We need to
Or
pay
7.
tribute
7.
to one of our fallen comrades, which is reincarnated as a slime, which is not making its debut on this top 10 list this year.
I'm actually really disappointed. I wanted everyone to check out Reincarnated as a Slime.
Well,
And Toilet Bound Tanako-kun, but
Slime was on the last
sadly,
year's.
they were both missing.
2019.
It was on the last 2. Slime was.
You know what else is in
I
here?
remember each.
Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama, which we will get to. Base, hold your horses. Let's finish talking about Attack on Titan, please, and let's stay on track. Like you said it yourself, man, we need to make sure that we have some order this time on this podcast.
So, I think Attack on Titan's peak was like 15 million or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think right now the hype is coming from the fact that Attack on Titan is on its final anime adaptation season.
Yeah, well, the thing with the first one is it got a huge boost from the anime, but then the anime decided to just stop for 4 years. So I think that really killed a lot of the initial hype, but it's still remaining pretty strong now.
That would be so, but comparing the numbers, and not to cut you off, Gary, is that it sold 4.7 million last year, and of course it had a 6th spot on the list for the 2019 best-selling manga. So I think really what plays into that is the fact there was probably less volumes that came out this year.
It could be that.
It being a monthly series, of
know.
course, that does have a subtle impact on it. But I think also too, it having a drastic drop in sales, you can clearly tell that 2020 far exceeded sales expectations for manga, because as you get into the top 8 and the top 7, you have series that are cracking, easily 5 million plus.
Oh, in general, yeah, this, like, most of these series sell way more than most manga do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm not surprised to see Attack on Titan here, just because I know a lot of people that have been catching up to season 4 didn't get announced until, what was it? Or, like, was season 4 announced this year?
Yes, it was announced last year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, I know a lot of people have been, like, talking about the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, and now that it's, all released, they can catch up to it. But I guess that it's just, since it's still, like, close to ending, that it still has that popularity that it's kept for a while.
Another thing to note, I think more than any other season 3 left on, like, the biggest cliffhanger. So it makes sense that a lot more people went to read the manga after that.
But that doesn't even make a lot of sense, just because it doesn't have a lot of, like, how many volumes does it have?
like 32 volumes.
Well, I know 32 volumes, but, like, how much is it that is past season 3? Like,
cool. I think season 4 has, like, 10 or 11 volumes to cover.
I think
so.
Yeah.
Because the first 3 seasons did 22 volumes, and now 33 just came out, and 34 looks to be the last one. So.
Yeah, I was looking on my shelf just to get an idea, but I didn't know how much was after season 3. I knew it was like 22, 23, but I guess it makes sense for it to be on number 10. I kind of expected it to be like a little bit higher, like 8 or 9, but 10 is still a really solid spot for it.
Well, I'm interested to see if it stays here the next year, because even though we only have 1 volume left, I mean, with the anime ending and then, like,
I doubt it.
Buying the backlog.
I doubt it, seriously.
People are buying the backlog. This series already has its established fan base. It is 32 volumes, 33 volumes long. It has its course. I got in an argument in a Discord server with an individual saying that Studio Mappa should put its funds into Attack on Titan instead of Jujutsu Kaisen, because Attack on Titan's going to make them more money.
On a series that has long been finished.
Do people even know how anime production works? Like,
no.
I mean, to be fair, do we really also know how anime production works?
Yes, we do. We're not.
I'm not an animator.
While you're sitting on your butt smoking cigars all day, I am constantly updating my knowledge on the sales, statistics, animation news.
What have you done based for the anime industry? I really want to know this.
What have I?
Well, he's one of the 4 pillars of my anime list.
I am the COO of my anime list. You might have heard of it.
Which, by the way, the new Attack on Titan season was ranked number 2 before it came out in English. So,
I know, it's quite a feat.
Stinky.
Now working.
Quite a feat.
It was so funny. Like, as soon as, like, they put Attack on Titan season 4 on my anime list, like, it got spammed with 10 reviews, and it was people just spamming, like, goat, 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 goat. And it was pretty great. Then sadly they, like, purged all of the spam reviews, and now it's, like, only at number 7. So,
well, I have a hot take in regards to Attack on Titan anime. I don't think the anime like the quality of the animation is going to be over, like, as good as it was when it was with Wit. I don't think so. I think it's going to have a drop in quality. I really think Mappa is going to focus on Jujutsu Kaisen, and you will see, especially coming up in certain, maybe a Shinjuku incident. I don't know personally.
Shibuya.
Whatever. I haven't read it. Whatever. I haven't read.
Well, to be fair, that won't happen until that's a while away still for them to get to that in Jujutsu. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Jujutsu is going to be the smarter business choice to promote than a series that is pretty much nearing its life.
After episode 1, well, I don't think the final season will look as good as the Wit seasons. I think it'll still be like watchable and fine. So I think fans will be happy for the most part.
Final verdict: Attack on Titan deserving of its spot? Yes or no?
I think it's deserving of a spot. If I'm being honest, I think it has one more year left in the top 10, but like 9 or 10. I think that season 4 is just gonna carry it.
I think it depends on how the other series do. Like if we
yeah,
get another year of sales this strong, probably not. But you never know.
I don't know. Just considering how like season 4 is split up into part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, the hype will still last for a while, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so I think it's deserving of its spot though.
Anyway,
All right, moving forward. Coming in at number 9, we have a newcomer. We have Spy X Family, selling at a whopping 4.5 million copies.
Mwah. Oh.
Newcomer at 5 volumes
This is it.
so far, and I think also being that it's gotten an English release. Are they up to volume? They're up to volume 5 here in the States, aren't they?
No, they're on volume 2.
Oh, so
I
not
think.
even close.
Or 3 maybe.
So newcomer taking the number 9 spot from last year, which was Kaguya-sama Love is War. Also outselling that, the number 9 seed last year sold barely 4 million copies, and so this one is definitely taking the cake for that one, being at 4.5. I have really nothing to say about Spy X Family. It is...
Because it's too good, you can't put it into words.
It's a shonen. It's whatever, shonen manga.
This series is overrated.
Woe-based.
I'm gonna say it.
Stop you right there.
This series is not as good as it deserves to be. Well, let me say this. This series is not as good as the sales indicate. I'm gonna be honest. For 5 volumes to sell 4.5 million copies, and it's relatively new. It's just by that, it's overrated.
But they have a dog.
I don't care. I don't care.
But he's a big floofer.
Doesn't half of the series have dogs in it that are on this list? I think probably over half, I would say.
I wonder how many of these series actually have dogs. We should.
No, this is something that should only be saved for the dog cast, where we do a special episode where we just pay tribute to the FMA dog.
Oh,
Regardless, I still do not believe this series deserves. I think it is a good series. It's not a top 10 series sales wise. I don't think so.
Sales
I gotta
wise,
be honest here. I gotta be honest here. Because there is to catch up to the sales for this cast, and getting I read through around 5 new series, and I read the first chapter of Spy X Family, and I gotta be honest, it was probably my favorite of the newcomers, and I really like the first chapter. Actually hooked me, and I like
it's so good.
I think it's actually really good. Not even gonna lie.
Shrug,
I think it's really good.
How many chapters did you read, Shrug?
I've read through 10.
It gripped you so much you read
Is
10
that
chapters.
is that
That's one volume.
Is that a complete volume?
I don't even think it is.
That's more than a volume. These chapters are a bit longer because it's a bi-weekly series. That's another reason it's so impressive that it's up here, because it's despite like it's brand new, and it also like has less releases than most weekly series, so good for them.
I don't know. Like I really like it.
It's just
man.
nice and
It
wholesome.
it really is. It's just so nice. It's not like anything like groundbreaking. Like it's pretty. I gotta be honest. Like
Generic.
It's pretty predictable, but like I really enjoy it. Like it's just nice.
Spy X Family deserving
It's very
to
nice.
be on this list.
This is
Yes or no?
it's just a rip-off Millionaire Detective.
I don't know if it's like deserving to be in the top 10. I think it's probably like one of the better shonen to come out recently, but like I'm glad that it's popular.
This is a top
right
20
now.
series, not a top 10.
I think I would honestly say that. I'd say it's a top 20 series, but it is good.
And with we still don't even have like an announcement for an anime, so I have a feeling it's gonna be here for a while. Spy Family, everyone, good shit.
Cool. All right, coming in at number 8, we have is Boku no Hero Academia, selling a whopping 6 million copies, being dethroned from its 6th position that it had last year. But do note as well is that it did sell more volumes this year, coming in at 6 million, whereas it sold 5 million last year, so million up. So that's still pretty good. My Hero Academia, I mean, it's a series that we've seen on various lists for the past 3 years now, so it's no surprise that it's still on a spot here on the top 10 list for 2020.
5 years, get it right.
What's that, Base? I didn't hear you
It's been
between
on-
the
it-
gagging that you were doing on
five-
Jujutsu no Kaisen's cock.
It's 5 years. It's been on the list. Don't get it twisted.
Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted,
Well, you said
My Hero Academia, if we're going to continue the trope of just generic shonen garbage that, just continues to flood the market as of today, My Hero Academia carries the torch. So have at it. Let's talk about it.
Sure, it does.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it's here. Like I knew it's gonna be in the top 10 for the next probably couple years, just because of how mainstream that it is, and it's. I mean, I think it's good, and
it's good.
I think that it's good. It's nothing like
What?
like top 10 shown of all time, but like I think it's good, and the fact that it's so popular does not surprise me, because like I see people who have never ever watched anime ever get into My Hero Academia, and all of a sudden I see them wearing a Deku shirt walking around their house. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like it was gonna be here.
I think Base can tell you about how this series completely carries the entire English manga industry.
But this episode is not dedicated to My Hero Academia. So, Base, just tell us why you believe that this is worth the number 8 spot on this year's ranking list.
Every time Horikoshi gets canceled online, as a character assassinated, this man levels up. This man is so enlightened at this point that I don't think if he goes one step further beyond, he might just I don't know. I can't even begin to put into words what this man is currently doing in this manga right now. This is a weekly series, and arguably this is the best drawn series in Shonen Jump right now, hands down.
I mean, I don't think it has the best action necessarily, but I think in terms of the art, like detail and stuff, I'd probably give it to this. Which is funny because like less than 2 years ago, Hori was like dying and putting out like 12-page chapters that didn't look that great, but now he's like every chapter it's like work of art.
We're just getting reveal after reveal. Next is Deku's dad. We're getting the traders next. What is next? Everything is coming out. This series is a masterpiece. I don't think Horikoshi, this man is on a mission, a divine path set to him by God.
In
this
order
man can do
for a
no
series
wrong.
to be a masterpiece, it needs to have an ending, which My Hero Academia does not have an ending. So how can you
the
call
ending
it a
is
masterpiece?
definitely in the crosshairs. We are at the climax of what I consider part 2 of the series. We are about to enter part 3, which is Horikoshi's endgame. We are in Infinity War right now.
Stardust
The
Crusaders.
first part. We are going to heights never before seen in shonen manga. This series is going to be, it's not going to be dragged on like Bleach and beaten over the head until it is just nothing. This series is going to be phenomenal. Even my boss at work, he reads it. He doesn't watch any anime. He's like, he reads the illegal translation on Friday. This is, and he's a casual.
He sounds like a normie to me.
He might be.
It's a normie show, like
Have you even seen the past 2 years, ever since volume 24, 25, Horikoshi literally has done nothing wrong. He's pissed off China.
He really snapped.
I've never seen. This man is Thanos. I can't get enough of it. I flip the page. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Yeah, I also really love I'm probably not as enthusiastic as Base, but I also really love what the story's been doing.
You don't get the right to talk about My Hero Academia. You put Tokyo Ghoul in front of this series and Dr. Stone. Do not talk. You are not allowed to talk about My Hero Academia in a positive light until you rectify the sins that you have done. You cannot undo what you said. They're on the internet.
Those are some big words for another big podcast, but as much as I would love to continue talking about the greatest shonen of all time, we got to talk about one of your favorites, and that is
the greatest romance of all time?
Yes, the greatest
Quintessential
shonen romance.
Quintuplets, coming in at number 7, dropping down from the previous year from its number 5 spot. But again, as you'll notice with a few of these titles here on the list, is that it also had a drastic increase in sales. The Quintessential Quintuplets selling over 6.1 million copies this year versus its 5.8 that it sold last year. Means that a lot of fans are still digging this series. A lot of people are still buying volumes. Is volume 14 the last volume of this series, or is
Yes, and it's worth noting that it came out at the beginning of the year, so there was actually only one volume released this year.
So,
and it's this high.
Quintessential Quintuplets. It'll have a lasting impact, I think, for the 2 years that it's been on this list.
Generations to come.
But to say that it's going to be on the list in 2021, I would say you are on a high horse if you think that is going to be the case. For me, I'll have my few words to say to this is that it's garbage.
You haven't even read it.
I've read a few chapters.
You didn't read enough. First off,
Hold on, before we go off, let's hear what Shrug has to say, because he checked it out for the first time.
Yeah, this was one of the series that I actually read through, and at the beginning...
Wait, how much did you read it?
I read through a volume and a half.
All right.
I think. I don't know how long, like, each volume was, but, like, I read through it, and I think the first chapter was kind of...
Why are we talking about the first chapter?
I was sitting here like, okay, like, what do you mean,
Why are we
man?
talking about the first chapter? Neji Haruba is an absolute genius when it comes to romance and pulling your heartstrings, and you're talking about the very first chapter.
Man, are you gonna interrupt me again?
Yeah,
you
just
gonna
let him finish. He only
go before he better.
This is my soapbox.
Okay, go. I'm gonna freak out.
Okay, the first chapter I thought was just okay, but then like later on, it wasn't horrible, and I was like probably by the time I was finished reading it, I was all like, okay.
Are you at least?
I get like.
Are you at least?
All right, Shrug, get to the fucking point. What did you feel? You're hyping this up too much.
Said.
It was good.
Okay. All that to say it was good.
Hold on. The most important question: who is your favorite quintuplet?
Frick, I don't know. They all look the same, man.
Again,
don't let this.
What happens with generic romance series? Let's just make a series where all the women are the exact same and have the main character fall in love with every single character.
What?
Okay,
whoa.
They aren't all the same, and I really like the concept. But, like, I was just sitting here like, man, I gotta memorize all these names, and they all look the same, and they've even acknowledged that they all look the same, and I'm just kind of sitting here like, what?
They all have, like,
they
4-letter
they
names.
all are the same. That's the point.
You're okay. I'm interrupting Shrug next time he begins to say something stupid, because I knew it was going to be something stupid. This series is a masterpiece.
Hell yeah.
This series is so wholesome.
Fuck up, Gear. That was
does not...
hell yeah.
This series
I'm all fired up. I'm all fired up for the Quintessential Quintuplets.
Negi is such a genius, man. Holy crap. He literally, the first chapter...
This is like his only fucking manga he's written.
Yeah, and it's perfect. In the very first chapter, he foreshadows the ending.
What is this guy's resume?
It's the quintuplets.
Cowboy Bebop foreshadowed the ending. Does that make it the best anime of all time? Answer that question.
No, but it definitely makes it the best romance of all time.
Absolutely.
Totally.
There's so many.
Totally disagree. Romance has never been good, and it will continue never to be good. And the only people
it hasn't been good until the Quintessential
that
Quintuplets.
like this shit are virgins. I said it.
I'm
Virgins.
the biggest virgin of them all.
You better fucking admit it, Base.
Listen, listen.
It's nothing like groundbreaking, dude. It's a romance and it's like slightly good.
Stop.
Like
Stop,
all I'm
Coach.
gonna say.
You were like, don't interrupt my soapbox, and all you went to say is, I read the first chapter, it was good. And no. This series
that is fair,
so
Base.
wholesome. It does not rely on tropes that carry the harem and fan service genre. They literally just, it all relies on masterful storytelling, jargon between characters, banter, and a mystery that even rivals that of Dexter season 2.
I don't know, man. Making five making five of the same characters seems like pretty lazy writing to me.
But they're not. They all have a deep personality.
Oh, sure. That's what they all
different.
say. They have such a deep personality. Oh my god, their character backstory.
Okay,
What's their fucking character
okay,
backstory?
okay.
They all grew up together. What's their? We fucking bathed together. Great quality storytelling. Love it.
See, this is the problem with you, Shaman. You just think they all bathe together.
Love it.
They're all changing together. They all sleeping together. You're wrong. You're wrong. They all have separate rooms.
Well, also, okay, but like, literally, I thought that the chapter, one of the first ones where he's talking like the first girl, he's like, I'm gonna get closer by learning samurai history, and I run around with her.
Right, I'm gonna have a stroke if we continue to talk about this any longer.
I am too. Like, it wasn't anything like masterful.
I can't wait
I don't
for
get
Neji
why you guys
Okay,
up.
what series ends and then right after it ends gets a full color translation?
That was pretty
Re-release.
insane. It literally immediately after they were like,
Kodansha
full
gave-
color versions.
Kodansha gave the keys to the Corvette to Neji and said, "Here, have the kingdom." All I'm saying is I can't wait for his next series.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah, he is coming with a new series, so that'll be exciting.
Oh joy!
It's not going to be a romance though. It'll be another genre. So
Thank God we've been blessed.
he's here to make a new masterpiece of another genre.
He's gonna do a
so-
shonen battle manga that Shaman will love. I guarantee.
Deserving of its spot on the list. Yes, I would
Yes.
say it does deserve its spot because there's a lot of virgins that are running amongst us in our population
Although
today.
I will say I am a little disappointed it didn't get number 5 just for the because it's quintuplets and that would be funny. So, but
I also think this is one of those series. It's like it could be a top 20, just not in the top
Calm
10.
down.
Also,
You
Okay,
don't
Mr.
know.
to end this segment, red hair is low tier. Anyways, moving on. Let's see. Jumping in at our next spot on this list, we have is the Promised Neverland, also dropping in rank. This time, its position is going to be its number 6 series on this list. Last year, it sold a whopping 7.4 million copies, and only this year has it sold 6.3, so a dramatic change from its position last year in 2019. Any thoughts as to why its position has decreased so much? I mean, outside of the obvious being that it finished up and it being a 20-volume series.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it ended a while ago, so it's possible that they didn't have as many volumes this year, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I know I share the opinion with a lot of people that this series kind of farted itself in like the last 50 chapters or so. It didn't really have like a conclusion a lot of people were hoping for. It felt I think it got too ambitious for its own good, where the story just got too big, too many ideas, and it didn't really work so well, which is unfortunate because I thought like the first maybe 2/3 of the series were really fantastic. So yeah, although it doesn't seem to have affected the sales all that much, it wasn't like a huge drop off. I think a lot of Japanese fans were happy with the ending, but personally this is probably the most disappointing one on the list here, just because of how much I used to love it. So
I mean, I also think that it's like I think just the fact that it had like one season, and then a lot of people just have been waiting for that, and I guess which I think that's kind of weird, just because I would imagine some people would want to go read the manga and figure out what more happens after the first season, because it's only like 12 episodes for the first season. And so I don't really get it. Maybe the hype just like died down, and not a lot of people have been talking about it as much as they were last year when the season was a little bit more new. And so I guess that's my theory. I mean, it is a significant drop of around a little over 1 million, but I mean, even then, like,
still pretty big.
Yeah, 6.3 million still not bad by any means.
Yeah, I think it just kind of like had its peak, and now, while still popular, it's kind of over that initial huge boost. But
I'd unless like until the second season comes out, which like by then the English releases should be wrapping up. Yeah, when that comes out, I imagine people will start hopping back on it, and then the English releases will finish up, and so I imagine I'd probably give it one more time on the top sales.
Maybe
it's probably
we'll
probably like 10 or so.
It's hard to make the list without a single new volume, but yeah,
I think it's safe to say that any manga on this list that has not at least made it for its sales alone is deserving of its sales title. I mean, think of it this way. There are series that go on without ever cracking even 1 million copies for its lifespan. So,
Base, do you have anything to say? Because I know you were collecting it for a while, but I don't know if you ever finished it.
Pretty much, I think the first season is honestly one of the better. I'd say it's one of the best shonen arcs in probably the past 10 years.
For sure.
I just have really lost a lot of interest after that because I feel like the main goal was obviously that, and then it kind of went in a completely different direction.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm just not. I just wasn't interested after that.
Yeah, and I guess like hearing that most people don't like the ending, it doesn't really motivate you to read anymore. So
no, but I still think if you want a really solid series, I'd just read the first 5 volumes and then berserk it.
Well, hey, for a series that's 20 volumes long, I guess honestly, it didn't outstay its welcome, so that's always a good thing. But I would agree with
that is true. I am at least glad.
I would agree with based on this one saying that it really like starts out to be like really good, and then it slowly starts to kind of descend into like a pretty boring series.
Which is really odd, I think. Just like how exciting it is at the beginning, and a lot of people like the beginning.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and then it just kind of gets boring.
I can't think of another series where like people were so invested that early on. Like, I remember people like, "Oh, The Promised Neverland. There's only 5 chapters left, but it's great. There's only 5 chapters out," and I'm like, "Holy crap! You're not even gonna wait to see if it'll get axed." But
I mean, you had like people like for Neverworld freaking out about it, and then you're like, that's like that's just what he does to get views. But then you actually read it, and I was like, oh wow, this is like not bad.
We got a live action movie coming soon, though. So
hey, well, great.
That's how you know.
I actually heard they're doing a short story about Sister Crone.
Yeah, I don't know if I think that's next week, but they've already done a few side stories now, and the duo came out with a one shot that was actually pretty good recently. So they're definitely going to keep going at it, and they're definitely capable of really good stuff. So whatever they do next, I hope is also really good. So we'll see. Oh, actually, the Crone story came out already.
Knowing this, and actually too, the nice thing about this list in general is that there are a lot of series actually on here that have finished up. So that being said, I don't see The Promised Neverland having another lasting spot on this list coming into 2021. No. It's possible that you might see a little bit of a spike during the first and second quarter, but by the end of the year, no one is going to be buying this series. Just saying.
I'd agree to that.
Yeah, probably. It had.
Alrighty, let's continue the trend. Let's talk about the newcomer. We got Jujutsu Kaisen at 6.7 million copies, overtaking its spot from 2019, the Quintessential Quintuplets, selling a whopping 6.7 million. And of course, we are going to be continuing the trend with the exception of one series of just a big increase in sales. So, Jujutsu no Kaisen,
Jujutsu
yeah,
no Kaisen.
It's a no for me, dog. I mean, honestly, like the series, what began as one of the most overhyped series in the beginning, starting from Volume 1, people saying, "Oh my God, this series fucking sucks. It's terrible. Gear himself has quoted saying how this was not a good series, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's so beautiful. The panels are better than Berserk. Holy fuck. It's good. And now everyone is just riding this jujitsu dick, and all of a sudden everyone's buying it now. It's pure hype.
It's almost like it got
No,
good
it's just hype. Yeah,
like,
did it
really
get good after
quickly.
10 volumes? Ha 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 ha.
It got good after those 2 chapters.
Wow.
I didn't like.
Okay.
Like,
All
literally,
right.
literally. So what? Basically, my story with this is back when the Shonen Jump series service first started. I checked out like the first 2 chapters. I was like, I'm not really feeling this. So then I just like put it off for 2 years, and then when the anime started, I gave it another look, and like almost immediately after the initial like whatever I felt, I was like, oh, never mind, this is actually pretty good. And so I caught right up, and I like this one a lot. It is very awesome. So good for them. Also, huge increase. Like this wasn't anywhere close to the top 10 last time, I don't think.
No.
This
good.
wasn't even in the
it wasn't.
top 10 like in September.
Yeah, this like obviously the anime just started, and the anime is really good, so that clearly
This
had
is
an
what
impact, but
happens
I
when
mean,
you
still, this was-
get a bunch of shonen fanboys and anime tards in the same room together, and they say, "Hey, what do we need? What do we need to do to
good.
promote a series and make it on the top 10 list? It must be very difficult to do."
Here's my hot take. Jujutsu Kaisen is the second best series here. Yeah.
Well, that's not hard to say when all these series are pretty much garbage. So
Hold on. Now, here's the thing. Gear's problem was he read the first 2 chapters, and I agree. I think the first couple chapters are kind of, tropey, standard shonen BS, not really interesting. But then they introduced this man called Gojo.
Goku.
And this guy,
Gojo.
this man is a feeling. He's a mood. He is a mood.
Oh,
He is
tanner?
what? He's a tanner. He's not an alpha. He is an omega.
Well,
This
you're
man
so lost for words.
is arguably the most broken. He is. Have you seen his eyes? I don't know if you have, but oh my
Well,
god.
no, I don't read series for people's eyes. That's kind of weird, actually.
and he's not even the like. Then they introduce like Nanami, who's like another Chad. Like they just keep introducing Chads. It's incredible.
Imagine Kakashi, but he's like way hotter and way more stronger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sounding
That's,
pretty hot right now. He's like, I'm getting me
I'm
some
hot
of them.
and bothered just
Gonna
thinking
get me
about
some
it.
of them jujitsu
is-
eyes. Yum.
And Based hasn't even gotten to the greatness of the Shibuya incident yet, but like the current arc that the series has been in has it's orgasmic. That's all I'll say. It is.
pretty good
It took that volume 2 when Gojo was fighting that volcano dude. I was literally
Volcano dude. Oh my god, this series sounds shittier by the minute.
Here's a really hot take. So someone commented on my video I made on it that the Shibuya incident is the best Shonen Jump arc since the Paramount War, and I might agree with him. So
That's bold.
there you go.
I heard it's very good. I'm very tempted to read it. I just think that Jujutsu Kaisen's being carried by good action and a bunch of thirsty women because Gojo
there is nothing wrong with that.
Oh god, Gear
And
confirmed is in love with the males in Jujutsu Kaisen.
I share his feelings towards this man. This man, he is probably the strongest, the most overpowered character introduced in Shonen Jump in almost he is up there.
Since Goku.
Mm-hmm.
He's way too strong.
I don't. I read Jujutsu Kaisen was also a series that I had to read, and
It was good.
I really liked it.
It was good. I liked
it
it.
definitely was. Yeah, I mean, I'm. Hey man.
Hey
You
man,
gonna let me talk?
come on
Let me
man.
talk?
I'm gonna let you
Hey,
talk.
man.
Just say
Come
something.
on,
Come on,
man.
man.
Just say something.
Well, you're making fun of me, man.
How much did
Why
you
gotta be
read?
doing that? I read through 2 volumes.
Cool.
And I'm on the same page as you guys. And then, but like you were talking about Kakashi earlier, that's the exact thought that I think that everyone was going through as soon as they introduced him was just it's like the same like Naruto dynamic of like the personality wise. Also, there was the female who
Nobara.
I completely just I honestly just forgot that she existed throughout.
Oh,
because
you will not forget her.
Similar to Sakura. You just,
in the first two volumes,
that's it. You forget about her.
Yeah, but you see, unlike Sakura, she's actually like good.
the first chapter of Spy X Family definitely got me more, but Jujutsu Kaisen was good towards like the end of the first chapter. I was thinking, okay, that's kind of cool, but also like I don't know, it did seem a little generic at times.
I'm sorry, Base. Stop clowning. Shrug is one of our best hosts, okay? Don't clown on him. But what I was going to say, Shrug, is that it didn't make sense for you to say that the beginning first chapter of Spy X Family was better than the beginning chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen when you say that Jujutsu Kaisen's final pages in the chapter were better. What does that mean?
No, I think that Spy X
good.
Families was better than Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, but you said that the end of that chapter was better. I'm trying to figure out what you meant by that.
It just caught, like, it picked up steam a little bit better. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Like at the beginning,
the Parasite reference
I
in the first volume kind of throws me off. I can already see a bunch of influence from other seinen manga here, and I don't know how I feel about that.
But what's wrong with that?
Well, clearly a series that has to backpedal or carry its shit from other series is clearly inferior when you could just read the better series and not have to waste your time with just generic shonen garbage.
But
are you
no
talking
series
about?
has Gojo.
Yeah, what? And also,
Goku.
that's a false statement, Shaman, because Naruto improved on Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, let's move on. We still have 4 to go through.
All right. So, newcomer coming in on the list as far as taking the spot from its previous entry in 2019. We have Haikyuu at a whopping 7.2 million copies, clearly throwing that 4.5 million number and its 8th spot from 2019 off its
Holy
rocker,
shit.
which is fairly impressive, I would say, for a series that's 45 volumes as its final issue. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Because, hey, as Base said it better than anybody, what long-running shonen series ever crack the top 10 manga list? Well, Haikyuu, there you go. 45 volumes. I may not like this series. In fact, I hate volleyball in general. And typically sport manga is just not my cup of tea. In fact, if you want to just watch sports, go fucking watch sports. But this, I mean, has had a very long-lasting fan base. I'm pretty sure Haikyuu has been on the top 10 list for about 4 or 5 years now. So people are definitely digging this series. I would say, honestly, and this will be my final thoughts and my words on this series, is that it will probably have a lasting spot in 2021, but it'll probably not be the 4th best-selling series. But very popular.
You know it's over, right?
No, I know that, but that's my point, is that I think that going into next year that this series is still going to have new fans buying the series. I think it's probably going to have a spot on the 2020 list.
That's
so
fair enough. It's worth mentioning the anime still has a long way to go. Like it's currently on right now,
well, then,
but
this series is gonna continue to sell very well. But that's really all I have to say about it. Personally, I have not read it, but being that it's about volleyball, I could care less. So have
And that's
floor,
where you're
folks.
wrong, Sean.
cringe
where you're wrong.
take.
Now, when I was a young lad, still green to anime back in, 2014 when this first aired, you know what? I said, boys volleyball? Why would I want to watch this? This is lame. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh.
You might think
hello.
I'm gay.
The animation.
I think
the
I'm gay.
animation is quite delicious.
Base discovered his true self. It's 2020. It's time to come out, Base. It's okay.
The Sakuga in this series is off the charts.
Ooh.
This series is, animation-wise, even if you have no interest in boys volleyball at all, the animation is so hype at times, and the OP, like the soundtrack, like the openings and the endings. Oh my!
Oh.
I'm sorry, but trying to
I like
recommend
sports.
someone who doesn't like volleyball this series, you would need to really convince someone.
Who likes volleyball?
okay.
No, like seriously, who likes volleyball?
Literally,
I
okay.
do.
Listen,
You just
I like volleyball.
Here's actually, if you like Google volleyball on YouTube or something, and go to like any of the videos of actual games, all the comments talk about is Haikyuu, because no one actually cares about the sport. They care about Haikyuu because of how good it is.
I like volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah,
calm down.
Shaman's logic is a little bit flawed because he must talk to volleyball players 24/7 at this rate.
And here's the thing: the reason it took me so long to get to the series, because I was never interested in volleyball. But one day I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. And then the Sakuga was like, and now this is my favorite series out of everything here. I absolutely love Haikyuu. From start to finish, I think it has one of the best endings I've seen in a while. Everything was wrapped up perfectly. Just fantastic series.
Did they win?
I will not confirm nor deny.
No, they didn't.
But
They did.
Did they win?
I will not confirm nor deny, but I will say that the series did throw twists my way that I had absolutely no idea.
Did they pull a Rocky with this one?
Like I said, I don't want to say anything.
Adrian, woo!
But it was a very satisfying ending. It did not feel like a cop out or
bleach looking motherfucker. This
all
guy.
right, now listen. Now this is manga alert, fellas. So like, if we're talking in terms of the manga, it's like reading through the first 2 volumes of Haikyuu, I think is a little boring.
Okay,
but
get
it's
out of
like,
here.
But,
what are you talking about?
But it's like, I think, but all you guys were talking about was like the anime.
Okay.
And so
but
like reading through this kind of stuff, like reading through the first 2 volumes and like getting them set up and having the lead like be on the team and everything and describe all the plays, it's like I think it's just a lot more interesting as an anime. And so
yeah, but you see, Furudate, when he like goes hard, he'll like pop off really. Like there are a lot of points where I think that the manga does actually look a lot better than the anime, just because of how well he draws the actual games and the impact of everything. But I also won't deny that that's also possible. I mean, most people do get into the series with the anime.
And I haven't read enough of the series to say that. I just know that when I read through the first 2 volumes, I just got bored of how they were like explaining the game, and I was like, this would be a lot better just watching it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Although that reminded me, like this. I remember this series got like a super late English release. Like I don't think it got one until like 2016 when it was half over.
This is the latest. This is the English release with the most volumes prior to getting an English release. I believe it had 19 volumes, which is extremely rare,
especially for a series so popular. Yeah.
And they started releasing them monthly. You could get a Haikyuu volume every month.
Oh yeah, for like 3 years or something until they caught up.
Yeah, 41 just came out last month. So, I mean, they literally... And it came out in, like, 2016, 2017. So...
Yeah, so... But...
All right, folks. Haikyuu probably will be here next year, so we won't be seeing its final moments.
No.
But before this next segment, I think that we need to pay some tribute to one of our fallen comrades.
Misty?
The death of one of the biggest mangas of all time, and it's sad to see it go. It really is.
This is a big deal. Like
I thought you were gonna segue
wow.
into Misty Cronexia quitting YouTube.
Misty / Cronexia.
No, we are not talking about this, right?
All right.
Rip Misty, man.
The death of One Piece at number 3. Selling only 7.7 million copies.
Yikes!
I love how that's like
a 3 million decrease from last year, selling at 10.1 million, and it being the number 2 spot.
Zoinks, man!
Why are you sad? Why are you sad? Oda has been a piece like he's actually just not as good as he used to be. He's just coasting on mediocrity, and it's the sales have finally started to show for it. This series has been in decline for years. I've said it numerous times ever since New World. Just spit it out. Spit it out.
I want to mention though, I'm pretty sure only 2 volumes came out this year, so I mean. In general,
regardless of
in general, the sales of the series have been in a slow decline, but at the same time, one of the reasons for the yearly sales have been going down more is that like they pretty much force Oda to take breaks now, and it takes like 6 months for a volume to come out. Because
the only thing I'll agree with based on this is that One Piece does not have any established new fan base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
barely anyone is getting into this series, because why? When the magazine now has series like Jujutsu Kaisen
Yeah.
and Demon Slayer and Spy X Family, series that have maybe 20, 30 volumes, at the most 45.
Well, one ended and one is in the
One
magazine.
Piece is just a slow burning death series. People are just going to fall off the face of the earth, and the only people who are reading this series are people who have been reading it since it started in the magazine, and they're all 30 years old by now.
Because
it's like, fuck.
It's worth, because like all of the other series, like it had, like you said, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, like what those series have different is that they're so fast paced compared to One Piece. Like One Piece, it's normal for like a 10 volume arc, where in these other series that's like pretty rare. So like they're always and there's like a lot of points where people can just jump into it. And yeah, with One Piece, it's just now with its thousandth chapter coming out soon, like a lot of people just look at it and they're like, I could read like 10 other series instead. Right?
Now, the only thing that shuts down this argument might just be in the fact that shonen manga has been at a decline for many years now, which is very true because of this number 2 entry. But we are getting ahead of ourselves.
You're saying
here.
it's in decline, but we just talked about all of these manga.
Hang on. You guys know what the number 2 spot is on this list for this year. So
we're not done talking about One Piece. You stop trying the transition.
We're gonna roll through this point.
No, we are not done.
Once we hit number 2,
One Piece is pretty much a soap opera at this point. Only old women watch it and read it and care about it. Honestly, this, like I said, I don't like when you look at this series and you're still reading it. You should reevaluate. There's My Hero Academia. There's Jujutsu Kaisen. Chainsaw Man just is ending. There's just so much better things to do with your time than invest in a series that is honestly on a decline. It probably won't be finished in 10 years. Oda, his health is declining. I mean, he's smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. His fingers could actually rot off. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, I just don't think... I think you guys are putting too much in the honeypot, and the bees are going to steal it.
So I actually really like where the story is right now. I've been having a lot of fun with Wano. But I will admit, like, in terms of like the art quality of the series and like how the pages look, like it compared to like pretty much everything else in the magazine is just really unappealing. Like if I were a new manga fan picking up an issue of Shonen Jump and I flip through One Piece, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And I would like
I don't know, man. The volume covers as of late have just been the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like Oda just like wants to throw everything in. I actually saw someone comment that Oda said this in an interview, but because we were talking like a few podcasts ago, I think, of how cluttered the chapters have become. I mean, they've always been a bit like dense and stuff, but especially now. And people are like, apparently Oda said that he does this because the anime is so horribly slowly paced that he tries to cram as much stuff into a page that he can so they have more material to adapt.
Hype.
Which is really sad. So
hype, dude.
I don't know how anyone can still watch the One Piece anime. It's kind of
if you watch
ridiculous.
The One Piece anime, something is wrong with you. Like
now, are we going to see One Piece decline further? That is the question. Are we going to see it at a number 4 or a number 5 spot next year?
Unless someone dies, probably not.
We might. We might. I mean, looking at this, I mean, I think it's possible Jujutsu Kaisen might even pass it, but I don't know. Like, it's still gonna remain really popular. I mean, each volume still sells over 1 million.
Oh
copies
well, yeah. I'm not saying that the series is
yeah.
going to be knocked off the face of the earth, but just the slow decline from its number 1 spot it held for so many years.
I think what could really kill its high ranking is just the slow releases now, with Oda taking so like and I'm not saying like, I mean, you know, if he needs breaks, he needs breaks, but like when you only have like I said, I think only 2 volumes came out last year, so right when you usually get 4 or 5. So
Indeed.
My closing statement on this is that One Piece is a failed formula these days. It's an archaic formula. As Gear said before, all these new shonen are so fast-paced. They're all ending... No series in Shonen Jump is going to go over 50 volumes anymore. Some people say Black Clover. I doubt that series is going to make it past 45. I'd say a good 30 to 45. My Hero is going to end before 50. There is going to be no... But they ended Chainsaw Man at, what, 11?
Yeah, there's one chapter left, yeah.
I mean, guys... Even they ended Demon Slayer at 25, 24, whatever. Like, there's gonna be there's gonna be no series that goes past 50 volumes in Shonen Jump anymore, because the new editor that took over in 2017, 2018, he's been running a fantastic job. No BS, no frills. Your series ends when he tells you it's over, not when you want it to be over. If it's over, boom, you're done. You're out of there.
To be fair, going back to Bleach, Kubo wanted it to end at 48.
No, he did not. Kubo said, I got when
did.
Naruto and One Piece were in its peak, and obviously Bleach just did that thing, Naruto and One Piece kept going strong, and obviously Tite Kubo literally had nothing, as you could tell from the Fullbringer. His series was done at 48, and he's like, I can go 10 more years, and look what happened. His series suffered. And it's obviously, it is just a piece of trash. I can't believe people...
Would you say Hunter x Hunter is going to make 50 volumes?
Hiatus x Hiatus might not even have a chapter anymore. I mean, what...
Okay, we should keep moving, because we're getting...
Gear likes to just stop me every time I start talking about Hiatus x Hiatus. Who's threatening you?
Listen, we can talk about Hunter x Hunter another day.
Someone is threatening Gear. He's getting all those sponsorship deals now.
Is Cool Kid threatening you in the comments?
6K subscriber.
Right before we move on, Shrug, have you said anything about One Piece? You want to add real quick?
It's not good. That's all.
All right, fair enough. Coming in at number 2, dethroning One Piece from last year, we have is Kingdom.
A good series. I've read 7 volumes of this. It is pretty much Chinese Berserk.
I've heard it was Chinese Naruto.
No.
You see, so I read 2 volumes, and for those who don't know, you have like these 2 chums who are like best friends, and then like one of them goes off to war or something. Or no,
he's gonna be the Chinese Hokage.
He goes off to be the body double for the king.
Sounds like Mulan or Prince and the Pauper.
No, it sounds like Barrage. That's what it
Prince and the
reminds me of.
Pauper. All right.
So then his friend, who was the body double of the king, gets killed, and now he wants revenge or something.
God.
And then so he joins the real king.
Why are you spoiling this, dude? Like, no one has read this.
It's literally
like the first chapter.
It's not even the first volume that he's
Jesus
talking about.
Christ.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's all I can remember. So,
8.2 million copies versus its 7.6, so a fairly popular increase as of late. And please do note, for anyone who has been living under a rock, is Kingdom does not have an English release. So it is very possible that if this series were happen to get an English release, that it would be the number 1 series of all time. Now, I think that's bullshit, but you got to take that into account here. You know,
it won't. No, people who clamor for this to get a release do not know common business practice. This has 59 volumes, no anime, and it does have an anime, but it's like no one cares about it.
Yeah.
And you have to purchase all 59 volumes of the license and then release it. You're gonna lose money out your butthole.
Well, I mean, I don't know. As of late, like I've seen 7 Seas, they just announced some pretty fire titles actually, which is pretty surprising. Some old school stuff too. I would say this is a series that you could do a 4-in-1 compilation. Get some garbage company to make some omnibuses, and boom, you're in business.
Bada bing, bada boom, Kingdom
Guess what?
in English.
If you want to talk about business practices based, people lose money off of releasing single volumes versus what they would do releasing them as omnibus volumes. So
you're talking about Dark Horse, and Dark Horse doesn't even know what it's doing. They're just throwing volumes together and calling it a volume.
I would honestly say Viz makes more money off of its shitty 3-in-1s that they put out for both One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach.
No. Viz makes more money with My Hero Academia than probably 7 Seas does with all its titles. So, come on.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Don't give me that. It's not.
Oh no, that's true. That's
No, I
definitely
know it's true, but what I'm saying is that the omnibuses really would be doing this series a favor in all terms. If you're worried about a series that's long running, being 59 volumes, and not finished, throw this shit in an omnibus. And not only that, people are gonna eat this shit up. People want to read Kingdom.
Heck, if Kodansha
No.
did it like what Vinland Saga does and just does like double ones and then just ups the price a little bit,
That's still 30 of them though.
And you're still
I don't know,
paying
dude.
for 60 volumes. You're just condensing them in the two. You're still paying for 60 volumes. You're not gonna get
But
your
what are
money back
those,
at all.
Doesn't like Berserk do like what are like the big omnibuses that they
Yeah,
make?
but Berserk's actually like really successful in the
Berserk's
States.
But-
the number
Fair
2
enough.
And
franchise.
in
they-
fact,
like, the
where
problem-
where is Berserk on your top 20 sales? It's not here, but yet it
Didn't
does
release-
extremely
Didn't it even
well.
release a chapter?
It did.
The
I think it
point-
released like 2
The
chapters. this
point
year.
is, Kingdom is it's a great series. It has good art, and it is definitely a very interesting story set in the Warring Kingdom era of China. There's a lot of grand epic battles. I don't think a lot of manga cover really wide, like grand scale battle tactics and stuff like that. It has a bunch of cool characters so far. I just think that the series is relatively unknown to the casual audience, which is mainly 14 like kids, and only the collectors and niche collectors really know what Kingdom is. So I don't think this series would sell as well as Shaman is saying it would. But I still think everyone should read Kingdom. It is from only 7 volumes. This series, I can see why it has 59 volumes and why it sells so well.
All right.
One thing before we move on, there's one thing I just want to mention. You said how there was an anime that no one cared about. What's really interesting is that it has 3 seasons, and the first 2 were like Berserk 2016 tier. Like it was all CGI, and it looks absolutely horrible. But apparently the 3rd season like went back to 2D and was actually apparently really good. So it's possible that this might have even gotten a boost from the new season of the anime, because in Japan it might have been really popular, but who knows. I just think it's weird that you'd have to get through 2
Kingdom
garbage seasons to
also
get to
does
the
very
good one,
well
but-
in Europe and in Latin countries. Fun fact.
Oh, that's true. It also, like, it's been released in other countries too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Everywhere else
Nuts.
that speaks English has not been blessed with Kingdom, which again, I think if it did, we would be seeing quite a increase in sales. Not to mention, there are so many fucking edgelords out there that are riding on the dick of Berserk that would eat this series up.
Look at the cover of Berserk and then look at the first volume cover of Kingdom, and tell me it's the same. It's not
Well,
even
no,
close.
who's saying that it's the same?
No edgelord is gonna look at the first volume of Kingdom and go, "Oh heck yeah, dude! I'm gonna paint my face white and paint
You are
and sit in the
saying
dark corner."
that no one knows about Kingdom, dude. This has been on
No one
the
does.
yearly sales ranking list probably
This
Yeah, but
is
most
Japan.
as
people don't.
long
This
as
is
One Piece, if not
Japan.
longer. If not longer.
We're the only like people who care about the sales list in America.
I
Honestly.
am a
Facts.
real American.
Anyway, here's what we should do now. We should take Kingdom's number and multiply it by 10.
Oh, you mean decrease it by 10? Because coming in at number 1, we have is Demon Slayer with a whopping 8,000 volumes sold because it sucks so badly that they just gave it the honorable number 1 on the list. So
They felt bad for it.
they imagine that. Imagine they had a best top 10 feel bad manga list where it just has the worst selling manga. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. But in all seriousness, Demon Slayer outputting the biggest sales number I think I've ever seen on a list. 82.3 million copies, blowing its number 1 spot from 2019 out of the water from 12 million to what we look at now, which is the 82 million number.
How in God's name did they get 70 million copies from last year? Like how did they do that?
No, it sold 82 million this year.
No. I meant like a 70 million like volume increase.
Shrug isn't
like,
doing
like
good
in
math
sales
right
wise.
now, but basically what he's saying
I'm sorry.
is that it had a lot of big boo-boo bucks. Why is it selling so good is his point.
It's garbage. Half the little panels look like Charlie Brown sometimes.
Well,
I don't understand.
looking at the volume 22 cover, I thought at it for a second when he was talking about Kingdom and people painting themselves white, I thought he was referring to the guy at volume 22 who looks like this fucking edgelord with tattoos and white skin. What
That's
a
Muzan.
fucking bitch this guy looks like.
He's
Look
the
at this
main-
fucking bitch.
He's
Oh
the
my
main
God.
villain.
What a bitch.
He's the main villain. Well, I pity the people who.
I pity the
Gosh
poor.
darn it!
Hold on. I just want to put like this number into perspective if people aren't super familiar. Like the record before 82 million was 38 million by One Piece in like 2010 or 11. So
And that was the peak of, like, I'd say shonen battle manga, where the Paramount War and like
and just to for some more perspective, 82 million, which it made in 1 year, is more than the entirety of Vagabond, Hunter x Hunter, Full Metal Alchemist, and several others. And in total, it sold 120 million, which is the same as Bleach.
Still not better than Blackjack, which is okay because our Lord and Savior Tezuka is coming in strong. So
Yeah, the one thing that it hasn't, the only record it hasn't beaten is the per volume sales, which I think it's still a few series with Blackjack being the first
won't
has the
ever
record for that.
happen. Won't ever happen.
But I think it actually has more per volume sales than One Piece now. So
Because
that's also
Tezuka is our Lord and Savior. And you know what? Who cares if it beat One Piece? Because One Piece is just, it's average. It's like the best, it's the best manga on this list, but it's average.
Now
That's it.
now Shrug actually checked out Demon Slayer for the first time. So why don't you give us your thoughts on it?
Wasn't good. 2 whole volumes of like it was so fast.
So-
like I didn't feel like I had a time to process everything going on.
Did you like how they like tell him that demons might kill his family and then they immediately kill his family?
Yeah, I was like, oh, wonder what's gonna happen,
Dude, that is
guys.
so
Wonder if he's gonna go up there.
Fucking edgy. Oh my god.
Have you
And then also, what was the point of like his sister falling asleep for 2 years, and then all of a sudden she's just awake? It's like,
No,
what happened?
no,
It's
no.
like, what
the
happened?
reason she sleeps
Whoa,
for 2 years?
He slept
No.
with her.
No.
What?
No, so here's what happens. So basically-
That's what.
No,
yep.
no, okay, so basically Tanjiro needs to train to be a demon slayer. So he meets this old guy and he's like, all right, we're going to spend the next 2 years training. He's like, well, what about my sister who needs to eat humans because she's a demon? And it's like, well, you know what? She can just sleep for 2 years and then she won't need to eat any humans.
He's like, I found that out but just by her sleeping here, and like for 2 whole years, there was a time skip at the beginning of the series. We are not even in volume
Whoa.
2.
Have you,
Shonen manga loves time skips.
Did you get to the Hunter exam yet?
I got to the Hunter exam, which lasted for I think 3 chapters, and then he got the Black Blade, which is really rare.
Whoa,
like,
Black
hey,
Blade, dude. That's racist.
Dude,
Okay, do you know what?
He like.
You know when they fight and there's like all these water and fire effects and it's all flashy and stuff?
Where did he learn the water powers from?
just-
though?
he
They
just-
never explained it to him.
No, but
they aren't water powers. That's the
here's
best
something
part.
they never explain in the series, but apparently all of the fancy effects is just in their heads. Like, they aren't actually creating fire or water or anything. It's
Then
just
why in God's name is it there?
because it
Like,
looks cool and it looks cool in anime.
I don't understand. Okay, I got to. I read through 2 volumes, and like the last thing that this like demon nurse was talking to him and was like you have to fight this really high ranking demon in order to help get the blood. He said, well, I'll help. And like literally probably 10 pages later, a demon that he needs to get the blood from just so happens to bust into the house that he's at, trying to fight literally the main person that he's supposed to go and hunt down.
It just shows up.
He just shows up into this crowd, and he's all like, I'm gonna freaking kill you, and I'm gonna cut you in half, and then he's all like, oh, look over there, and just how in the
violence.
world?
So it seems
in
like
this
you're
manga.
a fan.
How in the world? I was reading it, and I was like, I wasn't like bored. I was just frustrated. Like, how in the world? Like, is it 82 million copies? I genuinely like don't understand. Like it's literally like it's like what I think about Black Clover. It's like it's so mindless that how did it get to the point of this much popularity?
Yeah. So like I mean, I've said my thoughts on it before. Like I think it becomes pretty decent, but it definitely has a very rough start. Like Shrug was saying, like I don't blame him at all for not wanting to read anymore, and I won't even like necessarily encourage it because while I do like a lot of what comes later, it's still not that great. But
It's not worth reading through another 22
Yeah.
volumes for it
yeah,
to like
exactly.
get good.
But it's just such a crazy success story. I really have no words to.
I think there are some minds working at Shonen headquarters that really just bumped the series. I mean, I think maybe honestly, I think that the mangaka just has some political influence, maybe some Yakuza influence in Japan, and basically they raided all the other editors' offices and said, "Hey, bitch, if you don't make me the number one, then I'm gonna fucking kill you." And
But that's just so crazy because no
Demon
one
Slayer.
cared about Demon Slayer like right before.
No one cared about this series before the anime.
Dude,
It coasted at 2 million manga sales per year. This was an unknown, relatively uninteresting series, and then boom, you hear the money laundering Ufotable come through with their blood money.
I think
and
this list
pump
was
in-
rigged. Honestly, I think
It
this
is
fucking
rigged
list
because
was rigged.
I'm pretty sure. No, because honestly, I think after what is it, Ufotable? I don't even know how to say it. It's so freaking weird. They got charged for money laundering out of their
That is
charity and their blood money. I'm pretty sure these are artificial sales pumped in by the government to make up for the money they took out of it because they were
I would
being
agree.
so stupid.
Recount-
this is
re-
blood
recount the
money.
I
votes.
would fucking agree.
Recount the
And what
votes,
are you
guys.
talking about counting votes? What are
Recount
you
the sales.
No, this is not votes. These are copies. These are sales.
Recount the
Recount
sales.
the fucking
Recount the-
sales
no, no.
numbers.
No, that was the joke.
Shut the fuck up.
Recount the sales.
Okay, here is the funniest thing that we only just found out about this, and I think it's the funniest thing. So there's a new Gintama movie coming out, and it's going to be the last one, and they are actually promoting it by having the mangaka give out drawings he made of Demon Slayer characters at the premiere. So, like, it's so big now. They're literally using Demon Slayer to promote other series.
How,
That's
dude?
pretty bad.
How
that
is
the
this
series
they had
sucks
a-
that badly that you have to do that.
They had a
Wow.
press conference, and this is an actual quote. They said, "We hope that you please put down your Demon Slayer volumes and come see the movie."
On that note, folks,
This
we'll see you all for the Christmas cast. This has been fun. I
Wait, no, we have to do our predictions for which series is going to be number one.
no
next
no
year,
we
which is gonna
don't.
be Demon Slayer.
Here's what's going to be number one next year. Who's going to be number one? I'll tell you who's going to be number one.
I think Dr. Stone's going to pull through. I think season 2 is going to be
Gear,
a
you
massive.
want to make a bet?
No,
Gear, you want to make a bet?
I think Dr. Stone season 2 is going to unlock all the animators. It's going to be like nonstop Sakuga. It's going to look like the Broly movie, and it's going to sell 100 million copies.
I fell through a cave on Mount Divide. I faced an evil talking flower in a pot. Explains the plot. Wants me dead, wants me to rot. Toriel saves me, takes me